Next, we have our creamy cleansers. Now, Biologique Recherche uses creamy cleansers because we use P50 morning and night. So we need something gentle, hydrating, and protective to have that foundation before applying acids on morning and night on your routine. So
Yes.
that's the reason why we have creamy cleansers. We don't have gel cleansers with BR. So we don't want to strip the skin barrier before applying those acids. So we'll start with the Lay SR, which is a sebum regulating cleanser. Great for tightening of the pores, oily skin, people who suffer from acne as well, because it does have myrtle and myrrh, which are great like antifungal and anti-inflammatory properties. It has onion, so it's antibacterial. And then you also have some antioxidants in this cleanser. So you have a lot of great properties to help combat the inflammation in the skin, oil control, and tightening of the pores. So if you have all of this, that'll be a great first step to your routine.
Yes, absolutely. It will leave you already hydrated instead of just like, dry and tight, and then you have to use so many more products to get to a kind of hydrated place.
Exactly. And it doesn't strip the skin, so you're not going to get that, like you mentioned, that like squeaky tight clean that most people...
Which
like
people get addicted to, but we just have to break away from that because it's not really good for our skin.
Right, we don't want to strip the skin.
Next, we're going to talk about Lay EV. Lay EV is for dehydrated skin, also skin lacking lipids. So this is a deeply dry skin. This cleanser is very, kind of luxurious and
Velvety.
super rich and velvety and creamy. You use this without any water, so you just emulsify it in your hands, warm it up. You use like circular motions, and then you rinse with cool to cold water. You can use like a gentle gauze if you want to. So this has coconut-derived surfactants, which is probably what gives it some of that creamy richness. Also has cellular oligopeptides. So oligopeptides are amino acids, 2 to 20 amino acids. So it's very small and actually able to absorb in the skin, as opposed to like a polypeptide, which is 20 or more amino acids, very large, just sits on top of the skin. So this is really the main difference when we're talking about the quality of products, because you might say, oh, I found this product, it's half the price, it has all the same things, and it might say peptide cream on the outside or peptide cleanser, and it might not even say polypeptide, it might just say peptide, because they don't really have to give you details. But I guarantee if they haven't taken the time to make sure it's actually able to absorb in the skin, they would say that. So if they just say peptide, it's probably a polypeptide. It's probably not doing a whole lot, which is unfortunate that we have to be detectives. They're always trying to, knowingly deceive us.
Right. So the smaller the molecule, the better penetration.
Yes. Because it won't just sit on top of the skin. It'll actually go in and get some collagen production going.
Exactly. So next we have the VIPO2, which is my favorite personal cleanser. Great for someone who has like dull skin, tired looking skin that just needs like a little pick me up in the skin, a little nice glow in the skin.
Yes.
Someone who travels often and it just needs some more stimulation of blood flow. So with the VIPO2, BR has a patent oxygenating complex where you actually feel, I don't know if you feel it, but I feel a little bit of like stimulation around, like especially around the mouth area. I feel a little bit of a tingle, but it's like a refreshing tingle in the skin though.
Yes.
So I make sure I really get in the eye area, like I'll stimulate some of that blood flow in there and around the mouth area, and it just brings your skin to life. It just illuminates the skin. I try to do like a little massage with it too, because it has a nice slippage. So I'm lifting, if I'm doing gua sha that day, I'll do gua sha with it. It's a lot thinner than the rest of the moisturizers, so I think that's kind of why I like it a little bit better too.
Yes, yeah, you can definitely, if you want to do some gua sha with it, and it's great for smokers.
Exactly. So anytime we're stimulating blood flow in the skin, we're delivering nutrients to the surface of the skin, and that's what gives you that nice healthy glow in the skin. So again, someone who smokes, someone who travels often, and they need that extra stimulation, Although I would say not particularly for someone who has rosacea because you don't want to overstimulate the skin in that
Yeah.
sense. Although I have tried it where, like I mentioned earlier, I have very sensitive eyes. So as I'm waxing or threading or whatever the case may be, my eyes do tend to be a little bit more red, but the stimulation of the creamy cleanser, that VIPO2, I'll apply it kind of like for maybe 10 minutes or so, and it calms the skin.
Oh,
So,
interesting. Maybe
yeah,
because it gets rid of oxidative stress. It kind of.
I think that I just played around with it a little bit, and
Yeah.
that's what I found, and it helps so much. And it just, again, it's so hydrating, but it doesn't leave the skin with a film. Although I will say it gives it like more of a suppleness to the skin.
Yeah, if you're
So
not used to a creamy cleanser, I've heard people say before, oh, it feels like it films over my face, and I think it's just because they're
not
actually
used to it.
hydrated.
Yeah, they're not used to it. But just make sure you're rinsing it properly. But I love it. It's my personal favorite. It's great for
Yeah.
again all skin types. I've even had people who are acne prone skin that use it, incorrectly. When they just buy it off the shelf or something without a consultation. But they bought it and they've told me that it works to like dry out the acne. So anytime like you have like aerobatic bacteria doesn't like concentrated oxygen. So it helps
Yeah.
kill the bacteria. And I think that's how it dries out the skin dries out the bacteria without drying out the skin.
Yes.
So I wouldn't
Yeah.
I don't know that I would recommend it to everybody with acne, but for some people that works.
Yeah, if you have like a fungal type.
Exactly.
Fungal acne.
Fungal acne, exactly. But yeah, that's one of my personal favorites.
Yes. So good. Okay, so next let's talk about Les Dermo S. So Les Dermo S is for more of a fragile skin. I think of this as someone older with just kind of thin, delicate, fragile skin. So this also has a coconut-derived surfactant. It has a red sage fruit, which is actually in the mint family. I have a close friend with a allergy to everything in the mint family, so I'm always like, mental note. I don't think it's a super common allergy, but it does exist. And then it also has one of my favorite ingredients is the prickly pear cactus extract, and this has some natural amino acids in it. It also has vitamin K, which is wonderful for our skin and can be very brightening. And that's about it.
Right.
Those are the main key ingredients